My administration is also standing up for the free speech rights of all Americans, free speech rights. Look at social media. It's a thing called free speech rights. You look at Google, Facebook, Twitter, and other social media giants, and I've made it clear that we as a country cannot tolerate political censorship, blacklisting, and rigged search results. And you know, it can go the other way also. We will not let large corporations silence conservative voices.
That's President vowing to fight censorship of conservatives by social media giants. My next guest is as fired up about this critical issue as President Trump himself and is ready to fight for free speech rights. House Majority Leader Kevin McCarthy joins me now. Good evening, Congressman. Thanks so much for being with us. The president seems pretty fired up, and you are as well. Tell me why.
Well, this is something the president and I have been working on for quite some time. Let me just give you a couple examples. 67% of all adults in America get some form of their news from the internet. It's become the town square. But walk through a couple examples of things that have happened. If you look at Prager University, runs out these conservative videos, but they had a couple videos that came out. One about baseball, where George Will talked, or about Israel with Alan Dershowitz. Both of those were categorized by, Facebook said, YouTube in the pornography area. It's similar, wow. So they wouldn't show it. But now we find out later it was employees there. Or what about if you Googled the California Republican Party 2 weeks before the primary? It said our ideology wasn't the party of Lincoln, but Nazism. And they blamed that on Wikipedia. Then what about shadow banning when it comes to Twitter? That's why at the beginning of August I reached out and I said that these CEOs need to come into these committees. I've been reaching out many times before. Jack Dorsey, the CEO of Twitter, is coming in, and I give him credit for coming in.
Good.
But they talk about that this is just algorithms doing this. No, these are people writing these algorithms. Look what has happened just this week. A senior engineer at Facebook put together and wrote to all them that said if he had views that went against the left-leaning, he was attacked like a mob, and 100 people joined his group for political diversity. That these algorithms will, at times, Laura Ingraham put something out on immigration and said that was sensitive, so certain people on Twitter couldn't even see that.
Right. Right. You know what's amazing, Congressman? It's kind of interesting. In the last segment, I had Governor Huckabee, and we were talking about the Department of Justice and Jeff Sessions, of course. And it's like Lady Justice also. She's bandaged, but when it comes to the Republicans, it's like, you know, take the bandage off and let her go after them. But all of the crime that we're hearing about Democrats, oh, she can't see it. We're not going to do anything. And it's the same with social media. And we've gotten to the point where, you know, these censorship operatives are only focused on the right, making sure we're not here. Diamond and Silk, are you kidding? They were censored. I mean, there is this movement, and a lot of people don't understand what it is that you can do to preserve the free speech rights of all Americans to say whatever they want to say.
Well, it's kind of like a Machiavellian view. The end justifies the means in their mindset because they only want something to happen one way. They're upset that the president actually won the election. This is the difference. I think for two forms. You have to have transparency and accountability. That's the place. Now, I'm all for somebody on there criticizing me. They have a right to do that. But the idea that we have a conservative idea that you knock it down or you can't search for it, that is wrong. Remember what Google's line was when they created, do no evil.
I remember.
Well, if you believe in the First Amendment, you believe the strength of this social media, that 2/3 of all adults, this is where they're finding their information, and it's growing day by day. I think there's a responsibility here, and especially before an election and before the next presidential election.
Let's talk about it. Mark Zuckerberg appeared before Congress. Apparently, you got CEO Jack Dorsey coming in from Twitter. Facebook is now offering Sheryl Sandberg. But it seems that Google is not as interested. Am I correct in that?
Well, they haven't come forth, but I think they need to come forth.
And how are you going to make them come forth?
Google controls search, but, well, remember the power of the subpoena. Our committees have the power to subpoena people before. We don't want to have to do that. That's why I think it's better if you believe in having transparency and accountability and you believe in doing no evil, there's no reason why you would hold back and not come forth. And I think that's right. I think even though I have a different philosophy than Jack Dorsey politically, I give him credit for coming forward. He's going to the House on September 5th, Energy and Commerce, and he's going over to the Senate. If you believe your algorithms, which are written by humans, aren't causing problems, show us.
Yeah, prove it. I'm with you. Let's talk about the midterm.